Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I have often perceived life as the chance to share your story with the world, and sharing your story with the world is the greatest honor or chance that anybody could ever have. And I had that presented to me by thousands of people who love Descendants and Zombies with all of their heart. From wherever you're watching this video this morning, or from wherever you hear my voice, I would just like you to know that you will forever and always go on to hold a very special place in my heart for giving me the chance to share my story with you. A story I never imagined would go on to be seen and heard by more people than I've perhaps ever been given credit for or will ever be remembered for. I do know that I will go down in history of being a legend because of the stories I've shared with you about your favorite characters and the moments that really brought Descendants of Zombies to life for you and made you realize, got you to that point where you realized that being a fan of Descendants of Zombies is all you ever wanted to be because it was cool. I think this franchise has undeniably brought us that much closer together and made us the best of friends. It's undeniable how many people have become friends and bonded in these close-knit bonds over Descendants and Zombies. You probably have that one friend you call every night and talk about your favorite moments from the Descendants and Zombies franchises, your favorite characters, your doll collections, your Descendants and Zombies merch such as posters and the dolls you have on a shelf in your room, which I think is really cool because I've seen a lot of these videos where fans have put their collections on display, and that's really neat, and showcasing your passions for things like Disney, which eventually evolved from Disney to Descendants and Zombies, which kind of what happened for me. I was a fan of Disney for pretty much all of my life. I wanted to showcase it more than anything else in the world, and then from out of nowhere, Descendants of Zombies kind of just happens for me. And I really had the time of my life, not just to sit here and talk about Descendants of Zombies, but to share my passion with all of you and the world. I never imagined that this YouTube channel would go on to become so well received, and never imagined that this YouTube channel would explode in popularity. I pretty much, this is how it happened for me. I pretty much fell asleep one night after uploading just one Descendants of Zombies video. I think it was a Dove camera video or something like that. And I woke up the next morning with over 1,000 views. Literally 12 hours after I uploaded the video exploded in popularity. It just goes to show how much heart and dedication you guys have always had with you in your hearts for Descendants of Zombies and these favorite characters you've always had and you've always cherished. And that deserves to be honored. I've always loved talking about Sophia Carson and Dove Cameron and having these conversations with far more people than I've ever been given credit for, because I've attracted a lot of people, different age demographics, from a very powerful and very dedicated niche who always loved what I had to say and what I had to share. They saw something special in everything I believed in, and I believed in them just as much. And that's what allowed us to develop a connection and an understanding between the host of this show and his audience. I always wanted to develop an understanding between myself and my audience, because how else am I supposed to create content? That is a very valuable commodity that you don't really see in a lot of YouTube content creators, especially in this generation. Years ago, you probably did, because people were trying to stay ahead of each other, and it was very difficult years ago to become established on YouTube. YouTube was not as advanced as it is now, because 20 years ago, you had this huge web marker in the left-hand bottom corner of your video. Your video could only be 10 minutes long. You couldn't go live. You couldn't stream your videos in 4K. You were very limited and restricted to what you could do. Over time, YouTube has seen so many advancements, and it's allowed us to have more of an incredible reach and touch the hearts of far more people than we've ever been given credit for. And I've had the honor of doing just that, because that's all I ever wanted to be a part of, was touching your heart in some way or somehow. And lo and behold, that's what happened for me. I think it had something to do with how Kylie Control was very emotional with you guys, and she considered many of you her best friends, because she felt as if she didn't really have that many friends who understand her and who pretty much wanted to see her achieve everything that she went on to achieve within her career. I remember this one particular video that Kylie Control posted about her political point of view being taken out of context, and she was very emotionally overcome. She was missing all of her friends that she had the chance to work with, that she was missing with all of her heart, and she was letting you guys know how she felt. And I said to myself, my God, this girl needs to be focusing on what matters most. She needs to be prioritizing herself, which is most important, and all of you. I think that when somebody's political point of view is taken out of context, that is something completely unnecessary, and I think we should be showing some more undeniable love and support for somebody like Kylie. I always thought Kylie was a beautiful person. That is undeniable. I thought she was the strongest person and beyond fearless. Those are some of the words that I can use to describe Kylie. And I always believed in Kylie. That's what made these videos so special for a lot of people. I think a lot of Kylie Control fans who watch these videos every day knew that I believed in Kylie and knew that I believed in them because I was always supporting their dreams of having Kylie Control posters on your wall. You see many of my favorite passions showcased in my posters on my wall. Sonic the Hedgehog, Five Nights at Freddy's, Gravity Falls is there, the Bowser poster is there, the Marvel poster. I was always a huge superhero fan, and if there was one guy who believed that superheroes were real, it was this guy. And when I tell you superheroes are real, I really did believe that superheroes were real, such as the Avengers, Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, Captain America, Daredevil, Ghost Rider. I loved them all. And I really did believe that Stan Lee somewhere, somehow was making true believers out of all of us. And I feel as if ever since he passed away, I've been making true believers out of all of you. So when I hear people like Kylie Control saying they want opportunities to be in Marvel movies and how much Meg Donnelly loves Deadpool, I feel inspired because I know what it's like to be them. I know what it's like to feel that way. I know what it's like to experience every emotion in the book because I was a superhero fan too. I can't even begin to tell you how cool it was seeing Spider-Man become a live-action franchise for the first time ever on May 3rd, 2002. I never forgot that date in history because that's when Spider-Man came to life for the first time ever. It was months of anticipation. We were wondering who was going to be Spider-Man. It eventually became Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst in the roles of Peter Parker and Mary Jane Watson, and they did a fabulous job. And I remember seeing this come to life for the first time ever and being blown away by the images, by the story, and how these characters could bring such a powerful story to life for the first time ever. And now 20 years later, we're hearing Kylie Contrell and Meg Donnelly talking about their passion for superheroes and how much they love Stan Lee because I felt the same way because I believed superheroes were real. I know I may have went through a phase where I believed everything that I saw on TV was real, but that's what allowed me to bring every video to life and put smiles on your faces. And you're probably saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you're really silly. Superheroes aren't real. Well, if you actually take the time to think about it, you could probably make a believer out of somebody else out there who thinks superheroes are the coolest thing ever because you went through a phase where you thought Barbie dolls were cool. You thought superheroes were real. We all did. And I think that that's what makes life so special are these moments we get to share with everybody. And that's why I've always said you should never be afraid to showcase your passions and share them with the world and let everybody know how you truly feel about something. Because you only ever have so many opportunities to make moments count and to cherish these moments with everybody around you. You ever notice how you become friends with somebody for just no explained reason whatsoever? It kind of just happens. And you stay friends with them for forever and always because you bond over something like Descendants of Zombies or your passion for Pokemon cards or video games. Pokemon cards, you're saying to yourself. Yeah, I remember going through a phase where if you had a crush on a girl who loved Pokemon cards, you would start collecting them. I went through that in high school. I went through that in elementary school. We all experienced that. But again, that's what makes life so fun is when you have a crush on somebody so much that you will collect Pokemon cards and you will even try to play video games. I wouldn't doubt it many of you tried to play Grand Theft Auto or Final Fantasy because you had a crush on a guy who loved Final Fantasy and Grand Theft Auto and even Metal Gear Solid. We all did it. And there's nothing wrong with that because, like I said, you only have so many opportunities to make something special happen for you, so you should take full advantage of these opportunities and truly seize them. I've seen so many beautiful things happen because of a franchise like Descendants of Zombies. People have become believers in fairy tales. People have become believers in their favorite characters, and they've drawn inspiration from these characters time and time again. And that's one of the most beautiful things about life, when you can tell your own versions of Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland and make people fall in love with it all over again. Because Alice in Wonderland is a story that's about 65 years old. Cinderella is celebrating its 75th anniversary. Coming up tomorrow night, we will celebrate the 20th anniversary of Disney's Hannah Montana, which a lot of people are really excited to watch on Disney+. I remember being a huge fan of Hannah Montana. It's one of the fondest memories I've had of carrying with me as a Disney fan because I saw Miley Cyrus's rise in popularity, how she could sing anything. That's one thing I've given Miley Cyrus a profound amount of credit through the years, is how she could sing anything and bring anything to life. I remember seeing the Hannah Montana TV series explode in popularity, the Hannah Montana movie go to #1. I was there for everything. And if there was one guy who supported Miley Cyrus with all of his heart, it was this guy. I was the only guy in a movie theater with about 300 girls one night on the night of the premiere of the Hannah Montana movie back in April of 2009. I think it was April 9th, 2009. I'll confirm that for you. Hold on. Hey Google, when was the Hannah Montana movie released?
In the United States of America, Hannah Montana, the movie was released on April 10th, 2009.
I swear to God, I have a memory like a vampire. Honest to God, I was one day off. One day off. Half vampire for sure. I got to get that checked out. I think I might have vampire blood in my system. There's just always, you may be wondering why I know every date like the back of my hand. I swear to God, I just have this photographic memory, and these dates are just embedded in my mind. So when I tell you the date of something, I'm either relatively close or 1 or 2 days off or almost accurate. But notwithstanding that, I do remember being there on April 10th, 2009 and just being blown away by how Miley Cyrus had her first ever movie opportunity and she really made the most of it. I think after that Bulk came out, and it was just so fun seeing her become everybody's favorite superstar. And now 15 years later, we see somebody like Kylie Control wanting to do the same thing. She has Zack Power coming out in theaters in 2027. I got to mark that down on my calendar to go see that, because the one thing I do for your favorite stars, I'll let you guys in a little secret. I always go out of my way to support them, which means showing up for their movie premieres. If I could have been there for Rokeback Mountain just to support Meg Donnelly, I would have been in the front row every night. Honest to God, I would have done something. I would have won up Mila Manheim and been there every night because I love them so much. If Ruby Rose Turner would have been casted as a live-action Rapunzel, I would have been there every night. I would have been the Peter Parker of Ruby Rose Turner's life. Because I really do believe. Do you guys remember? I say this because do you remember how Peter Parker always used to be in the front row no matter what was happening for him in his own life, no matter how many crimes he had to stop as Spider-Man? Every night, he was always in the front row in the local theater just to see Mary Jane Watson perform. No matter what he had happening around him, he always sacrificed the time to be in the front row every night. Well, that's how I've often referred to your favorite stars. If I could be in the front row every night supporting them out of love and support, I would be. Because I understand what it's like to be each and every one of you. I understand what it's like to feel so passionate about getting that one Descendants of Zombies doll that you can never seem to find, that you felt forever passionate about. Watching Descendants the Rise of Red 1,000 times over, no matter how many times critics felt really down about it. The thing is, guys, if you watch The Rise of Red 1,000 times, so have I. And I'm here to tell you guys, that's so cool. And you should keep on following your passion. Maybe you should watch The Rise of Red tonight because there was something you missed. Even though you think you probably know everything there is to know about The Rise of Red, probably there's something in that series that you missed that you probably want to go back and relive. Like the song Life is Sweeter When You Are, which was really a bubblegum type song that I can never seem to get out of my head. There was always something about that song that was just so catchy, so vibrant, that really brought that music video to life. I think it was the lyrics and how Ruby could sing it. I know there have been a lot of people who have attempted to sing that song in their own version of it, like Kylie and, of course, Liamani Segura. Kylie and Liamani are going to make a remix of this, apparently, for Descendants 5. But there was always something satisfying about Ruby's voice and how Ruby could sing these songs like Shuffle of Love and Life is Sweeter because she just believed in it. And that's what made it so special for me, was how much Ruby believed in herself and everybody she surrounded herself with. The thing is, she not only brought the best out of herself, but she brought the best out of everybody she worked with. And that's what I admired about Ruby so much, that forever made her strong, forever made her fearless. She had so many qualities that inspired me to be a better person, that gave me so much incentive to keep on creating all these wonderful videos that I could only hope would touch your heart, because that's the only hope I've ever had as a content creator, that I was going to go on to touch your heart in so many emphatic ways, and lo and behold it did. Because the thing is, I told you these stories and you guys listened. I told you these stories about how I thought my girlfriend may have been a vampire, my roommate may have been a werewolf, and I contemplated shooting him. I told you these stories because I seriously did, because he used to howl at the moon, but that's a different story for a different time. But the thing is, stop laughing. I tell you these stories because I just want to put a smile on your face, because I know there are a lot of content creators out there who don't try to do that, who just tell you how they feel about Descendants of Zombies and saying, okay, Zombies 5 is going to happen in 2027. There's a whole lot more to say than just Zombies 5 is going to happen in 2027. There is so much to be excited about. And there was a way, and an emphatic way, mind you, to bring these videos to life. I mean, how many times have I told you guys that Zombies 5 was going to happen in 2027? I told you this every single time that I ever pushed record. Zombies 5 was coming. Zombies 5 was going to happen in 2027. And lo and behold, every prediction I ever made about Zombies and Descendants happened for all of us. and it gave us something more to believe in than we ever did, and it brought us that much closer together, which made every video that I ever pushed record for worth it in the end. At the end of every conversation, I made believers out of all of you for Descendants of Zombies' future, and you believed in that future more than you ever did. You shared in your predictions with your friends. They shared their predictions with you. It kind of conflicted. But the thing is, predictions sometimes have a way of clashing. But everybody's opinion about Descendants of Zombies is what makes this franchise so special. It's what creates and presents us with a whole lot of diversity. Sometimes we can get caught up within that diversity, but again, that's what makes it so wonderful to be a part of something so special. Again, guys, if I haven't said it a million times before, and you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, do you ever count how many times you say thank you to all of us? The thing is, I've always carried with me a great deal of appreciation for that girl out there watching this video who is a super fan of Descendants of Zombies, that general fan of Descendants of Zombies who was always watching these videos on her phone and her tablet, lying back on her bed, looking up at the ceiling, having a dream of being just like her favorite stars. I've often encouraged that. I wanted to always encourage that, and I've always wanted to be that one guy who gave you hope that something special was going to happen, like the Worlds Collide Tour and the second half of the Worlds Collide Tour, the premieres of movies like Zombies 4 and Descendants 5. We may not know what the consequences of time travel are. We know a few of them, like Red and Chloe have apparently created this new villain, which I would love to kick the butt of and be everybody's favorite action hero, which you guys can make happen by 50,000 likes and 50,000 subscribers. We know that there's going to be Red having a sister now for the first time ever, which is going to present a chance for a brand new storyline we've never seen before. So it gives us more of a chance to be excited for that future, and I just felt so honored to be a part of it. Again, guys, thank you so much for being here, and most of all, being you, because there's only one way to represent yourself, and that's by emphatically being you and feeling forever passionate about your favorite characters and their stories, because no matter who we are, not just our favorite characters, we all have a story that we just want to have shared with the world. I never imagined at just 9:01 a.m. in the morning, which is really early for many of you. You're probably on your way to school, probably going to come home before you do your homework and watch Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And by the way, guys, you might want to think about doing your homework before you watch Jonathan Clarke on YouTube in the archives, because homework is important, more important than Descendants of Zombies, because we all get to get older, we all get to get an education and make a life for ourselves, and I've often encouraged that while watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Then I often wonder, I often lie awake at night and wonder why this YouTube channel has become everybody's favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel ever. And it's pretty obvious. It's how I can relate to people and how I've created all this wonderful, relatable content. And I've offered you guys so much encouragement. I know I host this show from what I believe has always been a haunted house, but that's what made these videos so special, is that I can host these videos from what I believed is a haunted house, and host this show from one of the most haunted places in the world in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. And you're saying to yourself, hey, Jonathan Clarke, you don't have to tell us, because we know your videos are the best videos we've ever watched about Descendants of Zombies, and this is why this has become our favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel for how you've told us these stories. How do you do it, Jonathan? I don't know. I never know what I'm about to say. I never prepare anything, and I speak with an open heart and an open mind from the perspective of a fan, which I've always believed is the far most effective way, by far the most effective way, of sharing your story with the world and just hoping for the best. I've only ever uploaded videos and just hoped for the best, because the way YouTube used to work years ago was it was all about who had the fastest internet and who had the shortest videos and the shortest content to distribute. So it was all about beating out the algorithm by uploading your video first, and if you didn't have fast internet, you will pretty much find yourself at your buddy's house, your local high school, uploading videos during recess and lunch. And that's the only hope I've ever had, is that these videos were going to find their way out into the algorithm and they were going to go on to touch so many people's hearts. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me to be a part of something so special and to share in my experiences, my many experiences, with thousands of people. Thank you so much for always having that special place in your heart for Descendants of Zombies, and holding that special place in your heart for Descendants of Zombies for what feels like forever, because it's been a profound honor of mine to be able to share my story with the world. And I look forward to having even more conversations with thousands of people. I look forward to sharing my predictions, my theories, my character reviews with all of you in the very near future, because it's going to be a very special one. A very special one that we are all going to share in, and that we are all going to be a part of. Because even with how many fans of Descendants of Zombies I have already met, I've got my work cut out for me, and I still have thousands of fans of Descendants of Zombies that I have yet to meet. And this is a future that I would love for each and every one of you to be a part of. So if you love this channel with all of your heart, one can only hope. I will hope that you will hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, because your love and support is what this YouTube channel happens because of. This was a YouTube channel that was created for you, inspired by the characters and the storylines that you've loved so much. And I've loved elaborating on these stories and going deeper than any content creator with these storylines has ever gone before, to places that YouTube channels have never gone before. And then I wonder why this YouTube channel is everybody's favorite. Again, guys, thank you so much for always and forever holding a very special place in your heart for Descendants of Zombies. And as always, thank you so much for joining me and having watched this video. It's always been a profound honor of mine to create thousands of videos about Descendants of Zombies and hope for the best. Thank you so much for holding a very special place in your heart for Descendants of Zombies, having made this YouTube channel your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel. And as always, thank you so much for having watched this video.